Hi there guys, my friends on YouTube, welcome to Karin's Orchids. First of all, I want to thank my new subscribers. Yay! I really did get a few new subscribers this last month. Well, that I didn't expect. Being vacation and all. 2 months ago, I thought, well, I'm embarrassing myself being here on YouTube. Nobody wants to see my stuff. Nobody wants to subscribe. But then the tables turned, and it's getting better. So thank you so much for, to make me feel like it's meaningful again to be here and upload stuff. Actually, I got a few suggestions what to film next. A new guy asked, how many orchids do I actually have here? I haven't counted them for a very long time, but I assumed around 300, but it's actually 324. Yes. And, well, I didn't include the seedlings here. The Paphiopedilum venustum from my Wickman order. Well, I'm not gonna... I think there are a few bunches of orchids. I don't know how many actually. Could be 20 or so. And the Flascatleas from my Equagenera Europe order. Still alive. Maybe not kicking, but still alive. Doing what they should. So I'm gonna leave these guys out for now until I know how many survives and reaches maturity, or at least near flowering sized. Yes. So now you know how many orchids I've got. Most part consist of Cattleya orchids and dendrobiums and Paphiopedilums. Yeah. Since they grow best here. My quite hot condition, and naturally Cattleyas will do great, and they are. You can see here the temperatures I've been having inside my apartment right now, 27.9. So I need to have plants in here that can stand and tolerate warmth. And he also asked about what kind of shelves do I use. Yes. So I bet you've seen these shelves before. I bet Miss Orchid Girl has got them. I think so, or at least she had them. There are 2 Vittsjö shelves from IKEA. Yes. 1 meter wide across. And I forgot the depth of it, but I'll give you a little pop-up of the name and specifications. Yes. So solid kind of steel, brownish, dark brown, black, with glass shelves. I did assemble these two shelves all by myself, and I got a thumb in the middle of my hand. Yeah, in many cases I do. At least I think I have. But I managed, so that's quite simple. And I also found a little spice greenhouse or such from IKEA. Also, name. I'm going to give you a pop-up of his name. I found it at the garbage room. Yeah, somebody threw it away. And I grabbed it. For my tolumnias. I have quite a few tolumnias as well. 10. But for the moment they're not blooming as frequently as I would have wanted them to. But I think I need to water them a bit more often. So I'm gonna move them down here to the bottom shelf. So it will be easier to go in there with my watering can. Yeah, you can see here I have LED tubes. Mega LED Store. I think that was the name of the web shop. Got these very, very efficient tubes from. I will give you the specifications if I find them. Yes. So And I remove the top shelf here, so it's empty. Yeah? So I could place the very, very old and quite gross fittings on top of it. And we're able to save some space height-wise. And that's the limitation of these shelves, really. It's not as high in between the shelves. I mean, Cattleyas are sometimes quite high. Not all of the Cattleyas are miniatures, or medium-sized even. So you can see, they really need the space. Some of them won't last forever, will it? Well, there's another solution. When that day arrives, yes. Get rid of this one and this little rod, perhaps, I'm not sure. And we're going to be left with this lot of space. So it's adjustable. If you only use your imagination, it'll be fine. But I did find these LED tubes, which you saw in my previous longer video. 5,000 lumen, very, very strong, and really efficient LED tubes. Takes up a lot of space, as you can see, but for now it will be okay, as you can see. The color has even shifted in this Brassavola. It's a very, very good light. Yes. So I have a lot of Cattleyas. The larger ones to the top shelf. This is where the sun rays stops. Coming through that window, stops here. So therefore I placed a little bit more low light Cattleyas here. And younger plants. And even a succulent, back there. And the Doriana, low light Cattleya there, and such. So there's a thought behind it all, believe it or not, but it is. And the ones requiring the most amount of light shall naturally be placed here. And they can benefit both from the light coming in through the window and light LED tube from above. Yes. The lights goes on and off automatically. 7 o'clock, or maybe 7 o'clock in the morning, and switches off about 6 o'clock in the evening. So 11 hours of light. Found it quite sufficient enough. The power consumption is really high in this apartment anyway, and it's not cheap. So you need to be really, really careful and use your brain. Anyways, down here, smaller Cattleyas, which can make do with a little bit less light. Huge, strong LED light there, a little bit weaker LED light here, about 1,200 lumen only. So you see, most part Cattleya and Cattleya hybrids and stuff. Bulbos, Cattleyanti, and tiny Cattleya species to that shelf. A little less light, but still sufficient enough for them to grow. Down here, it's not enough with that little LED tube, so I choose to use this grow-lebbed bulb. Yes. Nice light, no red light, so it really catches the color of the leaves beautifully. So no red light. I hate red lights, I really do. So a couple of twinkles and a few fragrant Phalaenopsis. Overbloomed recently. That one's got a spike, the twinkle. And a bulbul coming out with a little spike, Eradum. Recently bloomed, so it's doing great. a few more scented Phalaenopsis orchids. And my lovely bulbophyllum tray. I love my bulbophyllums. But they're quite low light orchids. They're doing really, really well there. The little red light, the color is distributing. It's not so bad, as you can see. You can still see and guess the real color to the leaves on these orchids. Some of them were recently in bloom, so no worries that they aren't right now. But on these guys, a couple of new spikes popping up all over the place underneath. So there will be a couple of Phalaenopsis blooms and a few Cattleya blooms, Bonnerii, the species Cattleya. Hopefully it will bloom before long. And this disaster of a Cattleya, which hasn't bloomed for 6 years. Finally, stuff is coming. This, I think it's a 4N Phalaenopsis hieroglyphica. It took 2 years for this gal to form buds. She arrived in spike, but she didn't do much. But now, not long ago, she was blooming. Now she's really liking it. Since I put her underneath the stronger light. So light is key, as always. A little Hoya, the one from Karin, looks great there. And up here to this shelf, I just discovered LC Magic Treat, new trick. It's got a sheath with stuff in it. Stuff equals buds. This one never skips a beat, as we say. No, it never skips a blooming. Blooms every autumn for 6 weeks or more. I think 8 weeks last time, since she put out 2 spikes simultaneously. This is a very, very rewarding plant. So it's a very good purchase. If you ever find it at Lucas Nursery in Germany, I would encourage you to get it if you want something reliable, bloom-wise and Cattleya-wise. This is the one for you, if the color combination and pattern fancies you, that is. Frilly lip. 5 blooms. I think this is a very interesting color combination, isn't it? Orange and pink. The strikings appears after a couple of days a week to get her at her full potential. There's another one with at least 4 buds, so a long time blooming indeed. Yeah, what else do we have? Let's say we're finished with those shelves. Up there, low light, store-bought Phalaenopsis. Yeah. In there, in my warm growing cabinet named Millsbow. Yeah, everybody's using that one. Seems. Cattasedony type, my 3 ones that I got left. Doing alright, plumping up. Rinkostylus, Vandus, Aridus. Yes. Vivacious type orchids. Podangus even is also a vivacious type. And so is the Dimorphocus lovii and Gemellii. I've got a lot of stuff in there. But, yeah, as I said 1,000 times before, I need to do something about the thrips. As soon as I see a Vanda spike or a vivacious orchid spike dies. Yes. I've been waiting for this guy to bloom for 2 years. My Rinkostylus celestis blue. Yeah. Providing very good light, very good heat, and a fogger of its own there. Yes. Through this tube, up there. Yeah. It It's 66. Now when I open the door, it's a bit lower, but around 50, 55 to 80, 85. Each time it goes on, switches on a couple of times a day. I think it's enough, yeah? And look at the Maggie. Arachnis Maggie oil. Look at her. Can you see? She was this high when I got her. I think one and a half years ago. Look at her now. She can barely fit in there anymore. It's going to be very interesting the day she blooms. Yes? Yeah, in the window with best light, I have my largest Cattleyas. Very same LED tube. Yes. A couple of Vanders. And behind this, it's quite light, this mill spool, so I can just move it whenever I want to grab the orchids behind it and to take a closer look at them. So a few larger Cattleyas in semi-hydro, so I don't need to water them very often, so no effort really. Look at this beauty. Cambria Barocco Red. And it's almost overbloomed now. Colmanara, Painter, Tropic Jungle. I showed you these guys in this community pot in a short video a few days ago. That's very nice. Well, I almost forgot this space. It's my, shall we say? What shall we call it? Nursing shelf, maybe. I'm not sure. Orchids, this shelf, aren't doing as great as I would like him to. Or I've grown tired of them. I'm planning on perhaps selling them on our auction in October. The community. This one I will not sell. This one is my recently recovered Epidendrum stamfordianum. So severely damaged by thrips. Now, two new, not yet good growth, but still, they are growing on. Due to the fact that I spray them at an early stage with my orange oil to scare away the thrips snagging off them at a very, very young stage. Which happened. That's why you cannot see any new growth to it. Only old growth with thrip damage. So these two guys are really needed for this orchid. So no, you're not going. This one is a beautiful thing to have in a collection. Blooms, gladly blooms every Christmas. So maybe we'll see some blooms come Christmas from these two guys. Never hesitates to put out spikes from each new growth, from the base of each new growth. So it's happy, as she has been before, and she will be again. This one happened to be one of my favorite ones, so this one is not going anywhere. RNC, CM White, the best. Best blooms I've ever seen on a Cattleya. So I'm gonna move her somewhere else. I just had some free space for her, so. But that one is not doing great. LC, Tropical Trick number 4. Very, very lovely flowers on this guy. But I think I'm gonna try something else for him. Maybe not keeping him in semi-hydro anymore. We shall see. This one is a division. That one as well. And a couple of divisions there. And stuff. We'll see. We'll see what happens to him. Yeah, let's move along. And here is my low light stand. This stand is called soccer. It doesn't refer to football or anything. It's just sugar, perhaps. Yeah, low light Cambria types, Miltonia, Miltoniopsis, Miltonidium, Miltone, whatever Miltone you want and desire. They're here. Yes. Here Laura as well. Renaissance white. Coming out with 4 spikes. 1, 2, 3, and a 4 spike. The 4th one there. Yes. That one, Brassia or Bretonia, Shelobe, golden spider. 1 spike overbloomed, but this one is still strong and beautiful. To the other side, some Vandus. Light seems to be sufficient. There's a bit natural light coming in from there in the morning. And yeah, they've been spiking, but my biggest problem is not the sun, the amount of light these guys are receiving. It's the presence of thrips. That's my biggest problem when it comes to my Vandus not blooming for me correctly. They always bloom for me. Shall we say, before, in the past. Yeah. Epiceclea, René Marquez, flamethrower. Finally, we're getting there. Yeah. Some stuff. This soccer stand, I assembled the LED tubes, which you can connect in series, if you like, with zip ties. Yes, here. It's all right. Little Bulbul, Elizabeth Ann Buckerberry. Few orchids out on the balcony. Most part Cymbidiums this year and Coleogyny. Yeah, I think that was my living room. Let's move over to my kitchen area. Yeah, so here you can see a sea. No, you can see a sea. No, a sea of Phragmipediums. Yes, I had my Phragmipedium period last spring and this spring. No wonder, since they are so lovely and quite easy to care for. Quite easy. Yes. And this Actress Beauty, it's the most expensive one I've got in my collection now. Overall collection, that is. I was a bit disappointed in that. It was this small when I received it. But now I really do not mind. It's better with a small plant that's able to bloom for you. You can see it had recently bloomed when I got it this spring. Then a huge monster like that one, for example. We only need at a maximum 1 or 2 that sized frags. Yeah. In a collection, at least, if you grow in a quite small area, yeah. But it's powerful, it's beautiful, with a huge one as well, just to compare. But I prefer this sized, flowering sized orchid. I was a bit worried about it, the price and the size, so hooray for this guy being so healthy. So, sitting here, southeast facing window, LED tube, and up there, grow LED bulbs. Receiving good light in the morning. Really good light. Almost all of them are doing great, except for the Samuel Crothers. Yeah, root system looks alright, but we need another new growth. Yes. Couple of dendrobiums, light craving dendrobiums, such as the dendrobium Garden Sunray, creating a new pseudobulb. Very, very plump. Almost almost reaching the size of its previous one now. So it's a good sign for being a very, very light craving orchid. So at least reached almost the size of its previous one. So yeah, the adaptation is all right. What else do we have? Yeah, I have a couple of other dendrobiums. The species Nobly, doing all right. Dendrobium delicadum, doing very well. I even think it's trying to spike here. Yeah, there's a little sheath there, at least. Let's see if it wants to spike. With this kind of weather, with very, very little sunlight, natural sunlight this summer, some of my orchids finds it quite difficult to start spiking. But that's life, I believe. Can't win them all, can you? A few Cattleyas, they love that shelf, that window. That's why it's so crowded. The best window I've got, really. Here, we have one of my loveliest Cattleyas, one of my favorite Cattleyas. It's the RLC, Village Chief Rose. Shouldn't be like this, should be a little bit more like this. So it's quite wide if you straighten out the petals. And it's actually got a diamond glittering cover to it, if you view it in the very right light. It's a fragrant, very beautiful Cattleya. Yes. Only one bird came out from this quite small new growth. First time blooming. I had it for 1 year. I even have another one, exactly the same variety, just in case orchid. If I lost one of them. They aren't so easy to get hold of. Not this sized. No. Can only dream about it, so. Yeah. And here, we have a first time blooming orchid. Angrecum magdalenae. So quite good sized flower for its tiny appearance of a plant. It's not a huge plant. It's just the size of my hand, actually. So it's 7 times 8 centimeters across. First time blooming, really, really happy for it. Nighttime fragrant. And up there, I don't feel that I need to, that space needs to be introduced this time, as I showed you guys, and set this growing area up in my latest video for my largest Paphiopedilums. Better light, yes. And there's my growing cabinet with the very same LED tube. Good light, obviously, is enough for the dendrobiums and stuff to bloom in there and grow quite nicely. Yes. And last but not this bulb is driving me crazy. And last but not least, I have this shelf from IKEA. I do not really remember its name, but I remember that it couldn't stand on its own, so we needed to assemble it to the wall. Well, then I found the perfect space between that bench and my refrigerator. This one is 22 centimeters deep, and 175 was such high. It was very, very cheap and very easy to assemble. So, and it even had walls to the backside. But I thought white color would be nicer than brown to the background. So I skipped that step. They grew nicely underneath the very same LED tubes as I have in my room. The not so very strong ones. Yes. Paphiopedilum Rochelianum hybrids, a few, and that one is the callosum, soon about to bloom for us. Hooray! And some other stuff. A little Phalaenopsis Schilleriana and Grecum leonis. Yeah. A few. Prostechia vitulina, doing nicely, really. I never had a good Prostechia vitulina before. I had one, but it died on me. I was sitting in the cabinet, so that mistake I will never repeat. So this seems to be a lot better for it. So that one might even have good chance on survival. Yeah, this time around. And down here, you have the little bit cooler growers, such as Charlesworthy Eyes and Hirsutissimum. I think they all are growing on very nicely. Just add a little bit more water, and this is what will happen. Yes, really nicely growing now. See some of the specifications here for what. It's not so very strong, but strong enough. Yeah, I think that was the little tour for now, for this time round. And there will be another tour some other day. Look, finally the oranges is forming buds. Finally. Just because I was complaining about this orchid in my latest video, that she never create buds. Now she is. A couple of days later. That's funny. Alright guys, I hope you liked this video, and if you did, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and we should talk soon. Bye bye guys. Thanks for watching.